Hey there, welcome everybody to our annual TXN Sports World Football Feast. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined by good old MF Michael Fletcher and Michael Bullock. If you're new to the Football Feast, I'll briefly explain how we do it. We're going to preview the 3 NFL games that'll be going down tomorrow as part of Thanksgiving. We'll also be previewing the NFL game that will be taking place on Black Friday. And then from there, we are going to preview the full top 25 slate of college football games for week number 14, rivalry week, the regular season finale. And without any further ado, let's not waste any more time here, folks. Let's dive right on in. Here we go. And we started off with the first NFL game on Thanksgiving tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. A huge game in the NFC North. The Green Bay Packers squaring off against the Detroit Lions. Ford Field in Detroit. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi. They will be at Ford Field for this one. And Detroit opening up as a 3-point favorite. Second meeting, we all remember they met earlier. They met back on opening day, as a matter of fact. They met in week number 1 at Lambeau, and it was the Green Bay Packers defeating the Detroit Lions in that opening game. And it was all Green Bay in that one. Green Bay winning that game by a score of 27-13. And Green Bay, with that win, Green Bay now adds to their all-time regular season series lead against the Detroit Lions, as it is now 105-78 with 7 ties for the Green Bay Packers, rather. Lions swept both meetings last year, but the Packers winning it this time around at Lambeau. Last year in Detroit, on a Thursday night game, the Detroit Lions defeated the Green Bay Packers 34-31 in Detroit on Ford Field. 2 years ago, Thanksgiving, also at Ford Field, Green Bay stole one in Detroit 29-22. So without any further ado, let us dive right on in, guys. Here we go. NFC North rivals meet, and the Packers beat the Lions on Thanksgiving in 2023. Green Bay limited the Lions to 46 rushing yards and 3 turnovers in week 1. The Packers are 3-1-1 straight up on the road, but their offense will have to take more chances here. The Lions offense saved the day against the New York Giants offense, taking it to them through the air with plenty of Jahmyr Gibbs. The week 1 matchup in Green Bay was rough for Jared Goff, but he should keep feeling it more with Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown doing a lot of damage in the short to intermediate passing game to take pressure off Goff versus Micah Parsons. Jordan Love's running game will find a little more tough sledding and has limited firepower with which to match. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions to win this game. I think Detroit's got I got this feeling about Detroit. I think they're going to find a way to win this one here. I'm going to say the final score in this one is going to be Detroit wins. I will say, give me Detroit to win. I'm going to go 30-24. The Detroit Lions defeat the Green Bay Packers at Ford Field. It's going to be a great game. Can't wait to see it. So give me the Lions in this one. But would I be surprised if Green Bay stole this? No, I certainly wouldn't. So not much more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher. There's only one way we celebrate Turkey Day around here. We celebrate it the ravishing way. There's no other way to celebrate it than with a triple header of great NFL action. And what a way to start it off. The Packers and the Lions, major implications in the NFC North as both of these teams are looking up to the Chicago Bears, who we'll get into later on.
Yeah. The way I feel about this game is going to be it's more interesting because traditionally when we see this matchup, we would think in the past that Green Bay would easily beat Detroit and that they would dominate this game and win it pretty handily. In the last few years, Detroit has gotten better. However, something weird traditionally happens with the Lions on Thanksgiving. Um, they don't have a good track record. I think we can openly admit. And if there was a game that could be had, this might be it. And not only that, but this might be the opponent that can get Detroit. For some odd reason, look, Jordan Love is really good. If the running game is stout, I think they'll be fine. However, in the last few games, Jameer Gibbs, the running back for the Lions, has been absolutely a monster in the last few games. So much so that you got basically a top 10 run attack for Detroit because Jameer Gibbs is just that kind of explosive player, and he has been a major star for them. Wide receiver wise, Amon St. Brown has done pretty well. You're gonna have to you gotta contend with that defense, that offense, and the defense of Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. I mean, it's top 10 in every category. Number two against yards per game. They only give up about 294 yards per game. Their passing, they only surrender 182 yards. Jordan Love's got to do a lot more than 182 to win this game. Rush attack. They normally give up only 97 yards per game. Josh Jacobs, if he's fully healthy, I don't know what his status is for the game. He's gonna have to be, if he's healthy, he's got to run at least well over 100 in order to at least get a shot. And then points per game, they normally only give up 18 points per game. That's also got to go up. They got to really offensively, they got to explode. And with Green Bay, the one guy who could wreck the whole thing for them, Anthony, you don't even talk about it. Micah Parsons. He needs to be a game wrecker tomorrow. He needs to go out and show why he was the high coveted get for the Green Bay Packers going into this game. This game right here could establish Green Bay as the top team and make Chicago feel a little antsy going through the rest of the season. Yes, Detroit is the favorite, and I do get that. But the hell with it. Green Bay wins. They stun Detroit at Ford Field tomorrow, and they take down the Lions. This is the perfect recipe for an upset, and more importantly, it's not going to be because of the offense doing it. I think Jordan Love will do enough. The running game will be good. It's going to be the defense, and mainly Micah Parsons that's going to be the game wrecker that I think he will be and show on a national audience in front of the world that I am the best defensive player of the year. Bullock, I got Green Bay winning. It's the legendary story. Who you got? Is it Green Bay or is it Detroit?
Whew. This is why Fletch is our hype man, and you you just saw a perfect example of it, folks. I mean, Fletch does make some valid points. I mean, now here's the thing: if this was in Green Bay, I go with the Packers, but it's Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. And Detroit they're looking to really turn this thing around and be that, hey, we're the ones that run this division here. So I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a really good one. But I think because of you got Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think is going to have a solid game running the football. And then, of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to have a solid game. So I really, like I said, if this game was in Green Bay, I go with the Packers. But here, I'm going with the Detroit Lions. It's going to be a close one. So sorry, Fletch. You're lone wolfing this one, my friend.
As a matter of fact, just to give you a little bit of some extra things, this is the 22nd time these two teams are facing off on Thanksgiving. The Lions currently hold a small advantage over Green Bay, which is 12, 9, and 1 on Thanksgiving. And the Packers won the last time they faced off against each other. That was 29-22. That the last Thanksgiving game they played each other was November 23rd, 2023. Green Bay won. That's why I think it's going to be a little different, but that's fine. Anthony, it's yours.
But you wouldn't be surprised if Detroit were to win this game, right, MF?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, like I said, like Bullock is referring to, they're at home. Everything is looking good. But I kind of feel like this is one of those type of games that I think something weird's going to happen in that game. So that's why I feel the way I feel.
It very well could. Very well could. Look what happened with Chicago. Look what happened with Chicago last year.
Yeah.
Eberflus literally gave him that game.
Yeah, that's why I kind of feel like, yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, you want to get really weird? How about this? Speaking of weird, how about this? Coming up at 4:30 on CBS. This is our number 4 game of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs squaring off against the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, Arlington, Texas. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. Oh, by the way, they're going to be pulling double duty this weekend. We'll let you know which game they're calling on Sunday when we resume on Friday as part of NFL Friday. But Kansas City is opening up as a 3-point favorite, and the series history favors Dallas 7-5. Their last meeting was 2021 in Arrowhead. Kansas City won it 19-9. Last meeting in Dallas was 2017. Dallas won that 28-17. The Kansas City Chiefs have only won in Dallas once, but that was all the way back in 1975. We're talking 50 years. And the old Texas Stadium. That's the last time Kansas City left Dallas with a win. And the only time they've left Dallas with a win. All their other wins were at Arrowhead. So, if my calculations are correct, yes, they are. So, all right. MF, Kansas City, Dallas, another game with major implications. Kansas City, we saw it against Indianapolis last week. Surviving, coming back from, and both of these teams coming off big comebacks. It was Kansas City who fell behind 20-9 against Indianapolis at Arrowhead. They came back and won. But Dallas, coming back from 21 down to surprise Philadelphia. Something's got to give here, MF. Major implications in the playoff race for both of these teams. You got to consider it technically a must-win for both sides.
It is a must-win for both sides, but I think it's more a must-win for Kansas City than it is for Dallas. Because of the fact that a lot of people are really bugging out about Kansas City. And I mean, there's been a lot of people who's really putting a lot of pressure because they are noticing a lot of things out of the norm that is kind of making a lot of people feel very squeamish right now. Um, the way Kansas City has been playing lately, especially in the last few games, they were very fortunate that they got that big win over Indianapolis. That was very fortunate that they got. And Dallas, a lot of people had them dead in the water. But all of a sudden, that win over Philadelphia last week, when they came back from 21 nothing down, really's got the Cowboys fans starting to believe that maybe we might have turned the corner here. Maybe this might be our time. Now you're going with the Kansas City team that we've already seen has struggled on the road, doesn't play good on the road. And you're going to Dallas on Thanksgiving in Jerry World, and the fans are really fired up now? I don't know, boys. Is it possible? Could we see an upset in Arlington? I, I want to say yes, and I would love to see Dallas do it. But it's Kansas City we're talking about here. I don't know. I feel like whenever a team like the Chiefs, like the Bills, like any team, when their backs are up against the wall and you think that they're dead, some way, somehow they claw out of that net, whatever it is, that trap, that hole. They climb out of it and they reiterate themselves as, oh no, we're still good, we're still here, and we're not, and we're still as dangerous that you thought we are. I'm gonna say Kansas City to win, but this is a very reluctant move. I'm not totally convinced that they're going to win this game, but I can't. I don't want to say Dallas here because I don't feel like, just like how I felt more confident about Green Bay here, I think Dallas, I don't know if that was a mirage. I don't know if that was just because they just came back and had that never say die attitude. Because every time there's a big win, there's always a letdown coming from behind. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dallas to win. I mean Kansas City to win. Michael Bullock, I'm not 1,000% sure about this one though.
Yeah, I'm with you, Fletch. I mean, I'm I'm not going to be confident at all with this pick. I mean, look, I mean, every time. I mean, look, I want to go with Dallas, but the thing is that they always seem to let us down. That's the thing. I mean, I say it, and the next thing you know, it turns out it doesn't turn out well for them. But then again, with the way Kansas City has been struggling, I mean, they were very fortunate to win. So, yeah, this is a tough one for me to call here. I mean, I want to say Dallas, but like you said, this is Kansas City. So I'm going to go with Kansas City to win this one as well. But Florio, as I give this one to you, I'm with Fletch here. I'm not at all confident about it because with the way Kansas City has been playing, like, and they were very lucky to win that game in Indianapolis. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm going with Kansas City, but I'm just not comfortable with this pick.
And rightfully so. What will the Cowboys do for an encore after an amazing comeback against Philadelphia? The Chiefs are 1-4 straight up on the road this year, and Patrick Mahomes has averaged 45 and a half passing attempts the last 2 weeks. Dak Prescott has 40 or more passing attempts in 3 home games this year. Dallas would be comfortable in a shootout. On the other side of the coin, Patrick Mahomes did enough to beat the Colts, but it was not possible without special teams, defense, and the running game. He still made the key throws to Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and others against Indianapolis, and we're revved up to take advantage of favorable comeback matchups in Dallas. Kareem Hunt can also remain a factor to provide balance. The Chiefs will be more consistent in moving the ball with Mahomes than the Cowboys will be with Dak Prescott, as Kansas City keeps its regained one-score game mojo. I've been back and forth on this game quite a bit. I mean, believe it or not, my gut is leaning towards Dallas because of the fact that this game is in Dallas. And as I said, Kansas City is 1-4 on the road. But this is the Chiefs we're talking about here. Until I really see otherwise, I have to go with Kansas City in this one as well. I am going to go, once again, same score as the last game. I'm going to go 30-24. Kansas City holds off Dallas. But let's not be surprised. We would not be surprised if Dallas were to somehow win this game. So, got to go with Kansas City for now. The third and final Thanksgiving game, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on NBC. It will be an AFC North division matchup. The Cincinnati Bengals squaring off against the Baltimore Ravens. This comes in as our number 7 game of the week. M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore on NBC. Mike Tirico, Jason Garrett, and Melissa Stark will be on the call for that one. And it is Baltimore opening up as a 7.5-point favorite. Between these two AFC North rivals, Baltimore leads the regular season series 32-26. Matter of fact, Baltimore has won the last 4 meetings in a row. They swept last year and they swept the year before. A wild 35-34 game in Baltimore last year. The Ravens have won the last 3 years at home. Cincinnati has not won in Baltimore since 2021. And they smashed them in that game, 41-17. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, we started off with you here. We know the big stories here. The Baltimore Ravens, they stumbled out of the gate. They stumbled 1-5. Lamar Jackson was injured. But all of a sudden, since Lamar Jackson came back in that game against MF's Dolphins, they got their mojo back. Whereas for the Cincinnati Bengals, who would have thunk it? After missing all these weeks and months with that turf toe, Joe Burrow is back.
Yes, he is back. I mean, that's a huge boost to have their franchise quarterback and Joe Burrow back. But the fact of the matter is, you're going into M&T Bank Stadium against what we all agree is a rejuvenated Baltimore Ravens team. I mean, especially ever since Lamar Jackson came back. And, I mean, the thing is, it's probably too little too late for the Bengals. I mean, look, the record's not good, and I think they could be out of it, but who knows? They could play the role of spoiler here in this game, but it's M&T Bank Stadium. Baltimore is on an absolute surge right now since getting Lamar back, so I got to go with the Baltimore Ravens to win this one. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have any issues with this one here. Joe Burrow is in line to make his return tomorrow night, but it may be too late. Another loss would ensure a losing season for the Bengals, and the Ravens have allowed 13.4 points a game through a 5-game winning streak. Baltimore has won the last 4 meetings in the series, but only one of those games was by more than 7 points. Bengals are getting Joe Burrow with the toe, and they're also getting Jamar Chase back after serving a 1-game suspension. but might be shorthanded, but will be shorthanded again with T. Higgins. He has been ruled out due to a concussion. Baltimore's defense has enough holes versus pass and run with its injuries to keep Cincinnati hanging around until the fourth quarter, when Derrick Henry's running, I believe, will help slam the door shut. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens to win this one. I'm going to go 27-24. Baltimore defeats Cincinnati. Since he's going to give him fits, but I believe Baltimore will find a way to get it done. No reluctance here. So give me Baltimore. MF, you have the final say on these Thursday Thanksgiving games.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you guys have been saying. I kind of feel like this is the Ravens' moment. Look, Joe Burrow is back. Jamar Chase will be back after serving the 1 game suspension. So offensively, I think we might be in line for maybe a surprise here, but I do believe it is Burrow. Even though it's Burrow, even though it's Chase, and even though I think they're gonna make a thing out of it, at the end of the day, it's going to be unfortunately not what we were hoping for. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. But I'm with you guys. I got the Ravens winning. So nothing more to say, Anthony. For the second year in a row, or I think it's for the third year in a row, we got a special Black Friday NFL game.
And it's so big, MF, that it's the game of the week overall. And it's also our game of the week via the Crossflex. What a game we have here. Black Friday, Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, Amazon Prime Video, the game of the week. The Chicago Bears squaring off against the Philadelphia Eagles. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung will be on the call. And Philadelphia opening up as a 7-point favorite. Series history, regular season favors the Chicago Bears 28-14 with a tie. Last meeting was 2022 in Chicago. Philadelphia won that 25-20. Including playoffs, the Philadelphia Eagles have won 6 straight meetings against the Chicago Bears. Last meeting in Philly was 2019. Philly won that 22-14. The Chicago Bears have not beaten the Philadelphia Eagles overall and in Philadelphia since 2011. And that was a 30-24 final. So here we go. The Bears continue to win close games under Coach of the Year candidate Ben Johnson, but now the schedule gets more difficult. Caleb Williams has taken just 5 sacks through a 4-game winning streak. The Eagles are 4-1 straight up at home, but only one of those victories was by more than a touchdown. The Eagles had a chance to pull away in the NFC East last week, but they were non-existent in the second half against Dallas. That unacceptable disappearing act negated a strong first half by Jalen Hurts. He needs to take games more into his hands and legs with more aggressive running and passing. And I believe that will be the key to outdueling a hot Caleb Williams in Philly. Now, if this game was in Chicago, I might have some reservations. I might actually consider going with the Bears, and what a story the Chicago Bears are. But we're talking Philly, we're talking the Super Bowl champs, and they know deep down that, oh yeah, we let one get away. Never again. It will be close, but I do have the Philadelphia Eagles winning this game over the Chicago Bears. 24-20, give me Philadelphia to beat Chicago for a 7th straight time. But don't be surprised if the Chicago Bears steal this one. And if they do, damn it, boys, it'll be high time for us to put some respect on the names of the Chicago Bears. not much more to say. MF, our game of the week. We got a beauty here. Philadelphia, still the kings of the NFC. But here come the Chicago Bears saying, yeah, you guys may be the Super Bowl champs, but we're for real. We're for real. And, and boy, howdy, they go in here and they steal this. Oh, you better believe they are for real. So nothing more to say. MF, the Phil Sims to my Jim Nance. Do that thing I like. Hello, friends.
Yeah, and this is one of those compelling matchups that I think on paper when the original schedule came out, we were like, really? They're really gonna do this game? Okay. Oh no. All of a sudden, now we're looking at this like, oh, oh wait, this is even better than we thought. And at the end of the day, only one team's gonna be able to walk out with the victory. I kind of feel like this is that I kind of feel like this is going to end up being Philly's game. And Philadelphia definitely are the favorites, and rightfully so, deserve to be favorite. I don't know if I am as positive about Chicago as a lot of the people are, the experts. Do I think that they can win? Yeah, possible, but I'm not really expecting it more than anything else. So we'll see what happens. Nothing more to say. And yeah, I got green. I do have I got Philly winning. So Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles as well. I mean, this definitely is gonna be a really good game here, but I mean, definitely. I mean, but like you said, if Chicago somehow pulls this one out, I think we need to start taking Chicago even more seriously. But it's gonna be a really good one. But I mean, look, this game is at Lincoln Financial Field now. If this was at Soldier Field, maybe I go with the Bears. But for now, I'm going with the Eagles. So nothing more to say. So, well, Florio, now it's time to switch from the pros to the college ranks, and all I can say is, welcome to Rivalry Week.
Oh yeah. Before we do that, I want to let the people of Chicago and Philadelphia know. Of course, not many people have Amazon Prime Video, but this is only for the people of Chicago and Philadelphia. If you don't have Amazon Prime Video or you can't get it, you can watch the games on your respective Fox affiliates. For Chicago, that's WFLD Fox 32 in Chicago. And for Philadelphia, WTXF Fox 29. Your respective Fox affiliates, well, for both Chicago and Philadelphia. So just wanted to get that out of there. So with that will conclude the NFL portion of Football Feast. We will preview the remaining games on Friday night as part of NFL Friday. But for right now, let's get into the college ranks. Rivalry week, the regular season finale, because next week, of course, is championship week. And that will serve as our quote-unquote season finale of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday next week. So we got a lot of games, boys, so get ready. Starting with the first of 6. That's right, count them. 6 Friday games spread over the afternoon and evening. First of 2 games at 12 noon. And we're going to start it off with the Egg Bowl at 12 noon on ABC. It's the Battle of Mississippi. The number 7 Ole Miss Rebels on the road against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Davis Wade Stadium, Scott Field in Starkville, Mississippi. And on the call for ABC, it will be Dave Patch, Dusty Dvoracek, and Taylor McGregor. And we have Ole Miss opening up as a 7-point favorite in this one. So here we go. It all comes down to this. Across the college football world, it can mean different things. Some programs are fighting for the best college football playoff resume possible. Others have a trip to their conference championship game at stake. But remember to look beyond the major headlines also. At some programs, a new single-season win record is possible. Bowl eligibility is also on the line for a staggering 21 teams holding a 5-6 record, and the Army at 5-5. Plus, it's rivalry week. Coveted trophies and bragging rights are up for grabs. Yes, both conference races and the playoff hunt are destined to attract the most attention, but there's so much more to watch in week 14, though. And like I said, we're going to start it with the Egg Bowl, and here we go, guys. The circus is part of the Lane Kiffin experience. He is a great coach. Ole Miss has been incredibly fun to watch. But man, this ongoing flirtation between Florida and LSU must be exasperating to the team. There is a genuine chance Ole Miss wastes a golden chance to reach the college football playoff. Mississippi State's offense is a genuine threat here. However, I am going to stick with Ole Miss, but it's not an overly comfortable choice because Mississippi State is one of those 21 teams that's on the brink of bowl eligibility at 5-6. They win this game, they're bowl eligible. If they lose, well, they'll have to wait till next year. But I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I believe it's going to be an exciting game, high-scoring, close game. But I'm going to go with Ole Miss to win it. 33-27, give me Ole Miss to defeat Mississippi State in the latest installment of the Egg Bowl. So, not much more to say. MF, number 7, Ole Miss. Mississippi State in Starkville, the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State looking to become bowl eligible. Ole Miss looking to take one step closer to the college football playoff.
Yeah, one step closer for the college football playoff. But I mean, like you said, Anthony, this is huge for both teams. Yes, just bowl eligibility on the line for one, and then of course for the other, it's just to try to get into that matchup, to get into the playoff. And Ole Miss is right there. I mean, there's really nothing more to add here. I would love to see Ole Miss win it, and I think they will. But boy, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a dog fight, to say the very least. So Ole Miss wins. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think this should be a good one because, like you said, because this is the Egg Bowl, and it's going to be. I mean, Mississippi State's going to give Ole Miss some fits, but I think at the end of the day, Ole Miss will definitely pull this one out. So, give me the Ole Miss Rebels. So, let's move on to the next game on Black Friday.
It will be the number 13 Utah Utes on the road against the Kansas Jayhawks. David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, Kansas. This game will be over on ESPN. And on the call for that game will be Anish Shroff, Andre Ware, and Paul Carcaterra. Utah opening up as a 10.5-point favorite. MF, Utah and Kansas. Who you got?
Utah. I think Utah's going to win this game. I think Kansas will make a game out of it early, but Utah's just going to overwhelm them, especially with the ground attack. I kind of feel like they're the more superior team here. Give me the Utes to win it. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Utah Utes to win this one. They should be able to handle their business with Kansas. So give me Utah. It's yours, Florio.
In the escape of the season, Utah stayed alive in the Big 12 race because it crawled out of a late 12-point hole against Kansas State. Similar theatrics should not be necessary at Kansas which has not topped 20 points, save for a matchup with a broken Oklahoma State team since week 6. Utah wins this one comfortably, 34-17. Give me Utah to defeat Kansas. We have we have one 3:30 game, and oh boy, guys, it's a big one. It's the Battle of Georgia. 3:30 p.m. on ABC. A game so big, gentlemen, that this game is being played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. That's how big this one is. It's the number 4 Maiden Georgia Bulldogs squaring off against the now number 23 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This game's on ABC. The voice of Monday Night Raw, Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, and Katie George will be there. And Georgia opening up as a 14-point favorite. Michael Bullock, the Battle of Georgia. The Maiden Georgia Bulldogs looking to take one step closer to the college football playoff themselves. Georgia Tech looking to stay in that ACC race after getting embarrassed at home by Pittsburgh. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's how big this game is.
Yeah, I mean, so big, like you said, it's going to be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I mean, like you said, and Georgia Tech trying to keep their ACC championship hopes alive, but Georgia is trying to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. I mean, they're there, so we'll see what happens when it comes to this game. But I got Georgia winning this one, and I got them taking care of their business with Georgia Tech. So give me the Maine and Georgia Bulldogs. So it's yours, Florio.
Georgia Tech's postseason dreams ended in unceremonious fashion last week. Now it's a test of the Jackets' resilience. Can they flip a mindset from front runner to spoiler? I don't doubt Coach Brent Key's ability to motivate, but I have concerns about Tech's defense bouncing back against a steady Georgia offense, particularly since this matchup is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and not Georgia Tech's campus. I'm going with the Maiden Georgia Bulldogs to win this one. I think Georgia Tech will give them fits, but I think right around late third into the fourth, I think Georgia will pull away and win this one. Give me the Maiden Georgia Bulldogs. 34-24. Georgia holds off Georgia Tech. MF, what could have been for Georgia Tech if they didn't get smashed at home by Pittsburgh?
Yeah, and like you said, they had a shot at the ACC title, and that dream went bye-bye with that loss. I think it's going to be even more worse. And with Georgia coming in, and Georgia's fighting for their playoff lives right now, because not only do they have that, but they need a win and maybe hope for some little bit of some help here that maybe gets Georgia into Atlanta to fight for the SEC crown. So there's still that hanging in the balance. So for Georgia, this is a bigger game for them than it is for Georgia Tech now. If Georgia Tech wins, that may hurt Georgia. Not in the scope of the SEC, but it'll really hurt them when it comes to the college football playoff. Right now they're number 4. Right now they're holding one of the byes. If they lose, they're out of the top 4. They're going to have to go on the road, or they're going to have to play somebody in the opening round, and who knows how that plays out. So, yeah, give me Georgia to win. Florio, it's yours.
All right, guys. We move on to the primetime slate on Friday. First of 2 games at 7:30. This one can be found over on NBC. The number 2 Indiana Hoosiers on the road against the Purdue Boilermakers. Ross-Ade Stadium, West Lafayette, Indiana. This game is on NBC, and on the call for this one, it'll be Paul Burmeister and Yogi Roth. Maybe Zora Stevenson will be the reporter. I don't know who it would be, but Indiana opening up as a 28.5 point favorite. There's no doubt about this one. It's Indiana. It should be simple for Indiana. Purdue has lost 9 consecutive games and has not defeated a power conference team all season. Rivalries can be weird, but an upset in West Lafayette would be downright shocking. Indiana wins 42-17. Indiana all over Purdue and completes this most magical regular season. And then it's upward and onward to the college football playoff for the Hoosiers. Nothing more to say. MF. Boy, oh boy, Indiana. Boy, oh boy, are they set up nicely here.
They are set up nicely. There is no doubt about it. They are set up in a good way. Indiana should win, and they should win this pretty handily. I don't think there's much of an argument here. Yeah, so Indiana wins, and nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours. I mean, Bullock is yours.
Yeah, it's Indiana all day. They should be able to handle their business. So give me the Hoosiers. So it's yours, Florio.
And the other half of the 7:30 games, and for all intents and purposes, gentlemen, I got to consider this perhaps the game of the Friday schedule. The Battle of Texas. The number 3 Texas A&M Aggies on the road against the number 16 Texas Longhorns. DKR, Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium in Austin. 7:30, ABC. Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath. They will be there. Texas A&M opening up as only a 2.5-point favorite. MF, the game of the day on Friday, the Battle of Texas. Texas A&M, number 3, Texas, number 16. Something's got to give in this one. We know the story.
Something's got to give, and yeah, if A&M wins, they're going to Atlanta. They're going to be playing for the SEC championship crown. If Texas wins, boy, does it create a logjam. And then you gotta go through tiebreakers, go through a fine-tooth comb to find out who the 2 top teams in the SEC is gonna be for the right to go to Atlanta and to play for the SEC championship. A&M had a scare about, I want to say it was a couple of weeks ago when South Carolina basically pushed them almost over the edge and almost knocked them out. And Texas, coming off the heels of a dominating performance over Arkansas, it almost feels like this is one of those moments that did A&M take the foot off the gas? Did they really kind of, what's their deal? What's their feeling? How are they feeling right now? They have not played since that near scare where they almost got knocked out, where South Carolina almost got them. And then with Texas is just handling their business right now. So if there's ever a game for an upset, this may be it. However, with the SEC on the line, with the right to go to Atlanta, I don't see A&M screwing up now. Give me Texas A&M to squeak this out. Probably a one-score game, but I do believe they'll get the job done, and they're going to the SEC championship game. I believe they're going to Atlanta. Nothing more to say, Michael Bullock. It is all yours.
Yeah, I'm with you. This should be a good one right here. But like you said, I could see this basically pulling off the upset here. But like you said, with a trip to the SEC championship on the line for Texas A&M, I just don't see them missing out on this opportunity. So I'm definitely going to go with the Texas A&M Aggies to win this one. But I would not at all be shocked if Texas were to pull off this upset. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Texas similarly is aiming to end Texas A&M's perfect season. The question is quite simple. Will Texas bother playing defense again? One of the stingiest units in the country early on, the Horns have yielded 31 plus points in 4 straight games. Their offense is showing life, yes, but A&M is built to capitalize on a reeling defense. Texas's shot at an upset hinges on a reversal. Possible, but I'm not going to go for that. I'm going with Texas A&M to win this one. High scoring game. I think A&M will eke it out. 38-31. Give me Texas A&M to hold off Texas in what should be a very exciting game on Friday night. One Friday game left. We've had the Battle of Mississippi, the Battle of Georgia, the Battle of Texas. I guess you could technically say somewhat of a Battle of Indiana. But how about the Battle of Arizona? 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox Friday night. The number 20 Arizona State Sun Devils at home against the number 25 Arizona Wildcats. Mountain America Stadium, formerly Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. This game is on Fox. Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh Sims, and Arizona, Arizona, opening up as a 1.5 point favorite. So, Michael Bullock, you lead off on our final Friday game, the Battle of Arizona. Number 20, Arizona State at home against number 25, Arizona at Sun Devil Stadium. Your thoughts?
Like you said, this is one that could go either way. I mean, yeah, this is tough for me to decide here, but I mean, I gotta go with Arizona State. I mean, they're at home. I mean, would I be surprised if Arizona were to pull this one off? I certainly wouldn't be, but I gotta go with Arizona State to win this one. But it's definitely going to be a real close one. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah, most definitely. I gotta go. I'm leaning towards Arizona State myself. I don't really have much of a preview of this one. I apologize for it, but could go either way. But with the fact that this game is in Tempe and I got and Sun Devil Stadium, I gotta go with Arizona State here. I think Arizona State will eke this one out. I can see this being another high scoring game. I'm gonna go 31-27, but I'm going with Arizona State to defeat Arizona. But I would not be shocked if Arizona wins this game because Arizona is a very scrappy team. They really are. But I got to give the slight edge to Arizona State, that home field advantage. So Arizona State wins 31-27. MF, your thoughts on the Battle of Arizona here as we wrap up the Friday slate? All right. I guess MF might have stepped away for just a moment. So we'll await his return, and we'll get MF's thoughts on the Arizona State matchup. But while we wait for MF to come back, okay, we got him. All right, MF, Arizona and Arizona State. Who you got?
I gotta go Arizona. I don't know. I feel like Arizona State, there's been some games where they've been inconsistent. So I'm just gonna go Arizona. I'm gonna go Arizona for the upset. Anthony, it's yours.
Gentlemen, are you ready for the game? You ready for the big one?
Let's do it.
You mean the game?
We move on to the Saturday slate of games. There's only 3 12 noon games, but boy, howdy, gentlemen, it doesn't get any bigger than this. For all intents and purposes, when it comes to the three of us, this is truly the game of the week right here. Big noon Saturday on Fox. The number 1 reigning, defending, undisputed college football playoff national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes, on the road against the number 15 Michigan Wolverines, Michigan Stadium, the Big House in Ann Arbor. Big noon Saturday on Fox. You know who's working this one. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft. Ohio State opening up as a 10-point favorite. There's nothing left to say except let's dive on in. If you're in the I'll believe it when I see it category, I don't blame you. Michigan, with all due respect, had a mediocre team last year and still beat Ohio State in Columbus, no less, in the Horseshoe. Outside of home field advantage, if I'm being honest, there is simply no good reason for Michigan to spring an upset. The offense is more surviving than thriving, and Ohio State's defense has not surrendered more than 16 points at all this season. I'm going to go with Ohio State, and I will not be surprised, how could you be, if the stats don't matter yet again. I could see it being a close game, maybe into the fourth quarter, but I think Ohio State will get one more insurance score to put it away. I think this is Ohio State's best chance to do it. They haven't forgotten what Michigan did to them last year, and especially that disgusting incident after the game. And that disgusting incident, I believe in my heart of hearts, was responsible for waking up that monster in Ohio State. It woke something up in them. It literally lit a fire under them. So much so that they went all the way to the national championship. And I think that disgusting incident after last year's Michigan-Ohio State game was the turning point for Ohio State. If Michigan had left well enough alone, who knows? Maybe Ohio State would not have won the national championship. Maybe Notre Dame would have won the national championship last year. One can only imagine. But that incident lit a spark under Ohio State, and they absolutely steamrolled through the college football playoff last year en route to a national championship. 27-13, I'm going with Ohio State. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I would love to see you guys do it again for Michigan. I would. But I just think this is Ohio State's best chance to finally beat Michigan for the first time since 2019. So 27-13, Ohio State over Michigan. MF, this is the game that you have circled in blood red on your calendar. I know Bullock's the same way. I'm the same way when it comes to Notre Dame and USC, of course. But here it is. This is truly what the words main event were meant for, because this right here, with all due respect to the other great games on this slate, this truly is the main event. Brother, it don't get no bigger than the game.
Yeah, this is it. In hindsight, yes. Ohio State should win this game. They are on paper, they're more better than Michigan. In the big moments, they've been better than Michigan and everything else. There's no doubt about it. And I think a lot of people would say Ohio State is going to win this game. This is if there was ever a year where Ohio State finally beats Michigan, this is probably the one. Offensively, they've been better. Defensively, they've been better. And the whole 9 yards. However, one thing that I really want to say is very sure, and that is my Discord group has been trashing Ohio State all year. And you want to know why? Who have they really beaten? Who have they really been faced with? Other than earlier in the year against Texas. And that's the one thing they've been bringing up the whole time. They have not been really tested by anybody. They have not really been threatened by anybody or scared. What happens if you get punched in the mouth? How do you react? And they are saying, and a couple of the guys have already gone on record and say Michigan's winning this game on Saturday. I got a couple of the guys that normally does our picks can pick them. I got at least 3 of them all saying Michigan's winning on Saturday. So the question now becomes is what happens? You know, Bryce Underwood, this is your moment, son. You wanted to come to Michigan to do exactly this moment. You're a true freshman. You took the reins from the team, and now you got the biggest performance of your life on Saturday. Now, Ohio State is definitely favorite, and there's no doubt they can win this game. They can win this game easily, and there's no doubt about it. They won't even, if they bat an eye, who knows? But what if? What if Michigan does it again? Think about this, Anthony. They're ranked number 15 in the college football playoff poll. How much of a boost does Michigan get if they knock off Ohio State? Just think about it. Could we be talking about Michigan getting into the playoffs as an at-large?
There's a good chance.
There's a great chance.
I forgot to mention. There's one thing I forgot to mention. There's one thing I forgot to mention, and I'm sorry for the interruption here, or pardon the interruption in this case, but 70% chance of snow. Who does that mean?
Really? I don't think it goes either way. Because I don't think either one has really been under the elements. I don't know how that's going to turn out. If it turns into a run style game, I would actually say advantage Michigan in that situation. But because you know how Michigan wins their games by running the football and more importantly by utilizing that defense. That's how Michigan wins their games. At the end, we'll see. Yeah, Ohio State is the favorite. And I think a lot of people will say Ohio State's going to win. But I want to leave that notion to you, is that it's a what if. You know, we all said Ohio State was going to win a year ago. And they got stunned in the horseshoe. Now, yeah, Michigan kind of perpetrated the start of the fight and whatever. But then Ohio State escalated it into points that even they had to bring the cops into the thing. They couldn't leave well enough alone. So much so that some of the Ohio cops had to pepper spray the Michigan Wolverines. That is when it went a little too far, in my mind. And I'm sorry. You can blame Michigan all you want. But the pepper spray to the Michigan players was uncalled for, Florio. And some of those cops didn't get not even reprimanded for that. So I don't want to hear that garbage at all. You want a pissed off cerebral viper? Yeah, bring that up. I believe Ohio State will win. But if they even think about pulling some, and here's the thing, Anthony. There's been shenanigans on both sides of the wall. Ohio State pulled down the Michigan banner one year and almost started a riot at Michigan Stadium a few years ago. I think it was back in like it was in like the early 90s, where Ohio State had the gall to try to rip down the banner that normally Michigan comes out to at the beginning of the game. They tried to rip that banner down, and it almost triggered a riot at Michigan Stadium because of what Ohio State was attempting to do. So this is part of the rivalry, Florio. This is this is the bad blood that boils over. So we'll see what happens this time around. Would I be shocked if a fight breaks out? Nope. Because there's that much hatred between the two teams. We could see another fight. What we saw last year could happen again. I'm just letting you know right now that can happen. So be prepared. So yes, Ohio State probably wins it, but I don't know. We'll see. Bullock, it's yours.
Ohio State and Michigan in the snow. How about that, Bullet?
Oh man, this could be something really good. I mean, when it comes to this, I mean, but yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but wouldn't you say the pressure's on Ohio State? I mean, yes, they are the favorite, but the thing is, I mean, the last few years, from 2021 to last year, it's been all Michigan. I mean, and now you're going to their stadium, and you know the fans, Fletch. You know the fans are probably boiling mad about what happened last year. I mean, yes, Michigan started it, but I feel like Ohio State really escalated that fight even more. So don't be surprised if they actually have cops and security out there for this one, because they don't want a repeat of what happened last year in Ohio State. But could you imagine Michigan pulling off the upset? All of a sudden, they're in the they could make the college football playoff. That's how big it could be.
Two things that would happen. One, it would hurt Ohio State because I almost am certain it will knock them out of the top four, and they would have to play in one of the first round matchups. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be out of the college football playoff. I think they are
Oh no, they're
they
not.
are a lock for the college football playoff. They
They
are
just
at
wouldn't get
least
the bye.
99. They are 99% in. The first round bye could be gone if they lose
Oh yeah,
on Saturday.
oh yeah, yeah. College football playoff, yes. First round bye, no. If they lose to Michigan, so who knows? A game like this, especially with the snow, could favor Michigan because of their running game. So it's a tough one, but and you know me, Fletch and Flory, and sometimes you got to go with the side of history. The last 4 years, it's been all Michigan, and until I see something from Ohio State that makes me feel like they're gonna, the thing for Ohio State, the thing they got to do, especially when you're in that environment, they have to strike early and because if Michigan strikes early, that especially in Michigan in their home stadium, that could be huge. So getting off to a quick start, I think, is going to be key if Ohio State wants to end the streak. But until I see something that makes me feel like Ohio State's going to do it, so I'm going to do it, guys. I'm lone wolfing it. I'm going to go with Michigan because I think Ohio State somehow, some way, is going to find a way to fumble this up. And once again, they're going to cave under the pressure and they're going to lose to Michigan. So give me the Wolverines to. And what's the other thing you guys have said? Ohio State has yet to be tested. I think this could come back to hurt them. So I'm lone wolfing it, giving Michigan to upset the number one Ohio State. So there's really nothing more to say. It is yours, Florio.
When I got the notification that this game was going to have snow, let's just say my eyes lit up like a happy little kid at Christmas. Let me tell you that right now. Because you guys know how much I love snow games, and they're going to get hammered on Saturday night. Saturday night's going to be the worst of it. During the day, maybe not too bad, but when it comes to the nighttime, they're going to get hit with a winter storm. I think they're getting like 3 to 5 inches down there. So, but it should be right around an inch or so when it comes to this game. Maybe a little more. We'll see. But 70%, that's pretty dang good. So, I was already excited for that game, but when I hear we're going to get snow for it, oh, I'm all in now. All right, let's move on here. Our next 12 noon game will be over on ESPN. The number 5 Texas Tech Red Raiders on the road against the West Virginia Mountaineers. Mountaineer Field, at Milan Puskar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. And you can find this game over on ESPN with Roy Philpott, Sam Acho, and Taylor Davis. And the spread favors Texas Tech. Texas Tech opening up as a 23.5 point favorite. So, MF, started with you. Number 5, Texas Tech on the road in Morgantown against West Virginia.
Yeah, I know. This should be Texas Tech. Easy win for them. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas Tech to win this one. They should be able to handle their business, so it's yours, Florio.
In the last month, West Virginia has started to compete much better with Big 12 opponents. The offense is still barely average at best, though, and that's not going to cut it against Texas Tech's top 10 defense. Short of Tech having a total outlier performance, this result will not be in question. Texas Tech rolls 43-17. I got Texas Tech all over West Virginia. Our third and final 12 noon game, another good one here. In the ACC, the number 12 Miami Hurricanes on the road against the number 22 Pittsburgh Panthers, Acrisure Stadium, formerly Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. This one's on ABC. Bob Wischusen, Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden, and Miami opening up as a 7-point favorite. Michael Bullock, started with you here. Number 12, Miami, the U, on the road against number 22, Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium, the home of the Steelers. First of 2 big games for that stadium. We'll talk about the other big game on Friday night, but nonetheless, Bullock, started with you. Number 12, Miami, at number 22, Pittsburgh. ACC implications, who you got? Bullock, are you there?
Ooh, sorry about that. I forgot to unmute myself. So, yeah, big ACC implications here. I mean, this could go either way. I mean, Pittsburgh, I think, could definitely make a game of it, and maybe, yeah, they're definitely going to make a game of it. But I think at the end, like you said, maybe midway through the third quarter, I think you'll see Miami somehow pull away with this one. So give me the U to win this. So it is yours.
Yeah. ACC implications here. All right, Pittsburgh. Are you bringing the first half version or the second half team? Pittsburgh soared to a 28-0 lead in its upset at Georgia Tech, but vanished on offense after the break, hanging on for a 42-28 win because of a 100-yard pick six. The escapability of someone like Pittsburgh quarterback Mason Heinchel is always a nuisance for Miami's defense. However, I believe the Canes should be able to claw out an ugly victory. Miami's starting to get their mojo back a little bit after they got embarrassed by Louisville at home and then that gut-wrenching loss at SMU in overtime. Pittsburgh, you remember a couple weeks ago, they got smacked around at home by Notre Dame. But, oh, boy, what a way to bounce back last week. I mean, going into Georgia Tech, very tough place to win against a very good team and smacking them around. very impressive by Pittsburgh. Close game, but I think Miami's going to pull this one out here. They're going to eat this one out here. 26-23, give me the U to defeat Pittsburgh, but I certainly would not be surprised if Pittsburgh were to pull the upset here, especially in Pittsburgh. So not much more. MF, like I said, Miami I think they've gotten their mojo back after those rough couple of games. Pittsburgh, great bounce back in Georgia Tech after they got smacked around by Notre Dame. ACC implications aplenty. Who you got?
Yeah, plenty of ACC implications, but I'm pretty confident about it as well. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I do believe that it's going to be. I think Miami's going to win it. I really got nothing more to say, Anthony. It is yours.
All right, we have a 1:00 kickoff here, and it will be on ESPN2. It will feature the number 11 BYU Cougars at home at Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo, Utah, hosting the UCF University of Central Florida Knights. This is over on ESPN2. It'll be Matt Schumacher and Dustin Fox on the call, and BYU opening up as a 17.5-point favorite. No question about this one. This is BYU. BYU's got this one. With a trip to the Big 12 championship game and its college football playoff life at stake, BYU has a favorable finale. Last week at home, Central Florida barely beat Oklahoma State. That result came on the heels of Central Florida's 39-point loss to Texas Tech. Anything is possible, sure, but BYU is a hefty favorite for good reason. BYU wins this one comfortably, 36-13. BYU all over UCF. MF, your thoughts?
Agreed. I got BYU winning. I don't think there's much more for us to go on that one. So, Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I got to go with BYU to win this one as well, handily. So there's really nothing more to say. Let's move on.
All right, 3:30 games, boys, and we're gonna start it off. We got 3 of them, and we're gonna start it off with the Big Ten on CBS. Big Ten on CBS will have this one. The number 6 Oregon Ducks on the road against the Washington Huskies. Alaska Airlines Field at Husky Stadium in Seattle. Big Ten on CBS. You already know who's working this one as always, guys. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell, and it is Oregon opening up as a 6.5-point favorite. Any other week, MF, I know this would have been, for you and Bullock, this would have been your Big Ten game of the week. We already know where you boys are headed. Need I say more? But
yeah, we'll see you in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But this game is right behind when it comes to the Big Ten. Number 6 Oregon at Washington in Seattle. The Big Ten on CBS to kick off the 3:30 window on Saturday. Your thoughts?
Yeah, good matchup, no doubt about it. But I'm going to go with Oregon. I feel like Oregon is they definitely went through the water and and the whole 9 yards. Give me Oregon to win the game. Really nothing more to add. So Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Nice win over USC last week for them too.
Big win.
Yeah, definitely a big win for them, and I expect this to continue for them. So I'm gonna go with Oregon to win this as well. So it's yours.
It is Oregon, but I got to be honest here. I am a little hesitant though because of where the game is. Now, if we flip the locations from Seattle to Eugene, I would not hesitate. It's Oregon all day. But Washington cannot be trusted when it plays good competition outside of Seattle. At home, though, it's reason for pause and somewhat of a cause for concern. Washington quarterback Damon Williams Jr. generally has struggled with top defenses, and Oregon certainly fits the billing at 5.5 yards allowed per pass attempt. This would be a heck of a moment for Williams to break that trend. But I'm going with Oregon to win this one, though. close game, maybe into the fourth quarter or so, but I think Oregon will put it away with a late score. So I'm going to go with Oregon to win this one. 27-17. Give me Oregon to defeat Washington. Next 3:30 game. When the schedule came out, this looked like a marquee matchup. Not really that much more anymore. But you never know. It could still be good. 3:30 on ABC. It's the number 8 Oklahoma Sooners at home at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman. And they're going to be hosting the LSU Tigers. This is on ABC. It'll be with Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, and Quint Kessenich. And I believe it's Oklahoma opening as the favorite here. Yes, Oklahoma opening up as a 10-point favorite. So I do believe this one goes to Michael Bullock, I believe. So Bullock, number 8 Oklahoma at home against LSU. Who you got?
And like you said earlier in the season, I mean, this would have been a marquee matchup here, but with everything going down for LSU since then, it's taken. But you never know; it could still be that. But no matter what, I definitely got Oklahoma coming out the winners of this one. So give me Oklahoma to win this. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah. Speaking of trends, following a 13-10 win over Western Kentucky, LSU has not surpassed 25 points against an FBS opponent. I find that hard to believe that will change against Oklahoma, who is ranked 6th nationally in scoring defense. LSU's defense is still fighting hard, but the Tigers just don't score enough. I got Oklahoma winning this one somewhat comfortably, 24-13. Give me Oklahoma to defeat LSU. So, MF, your thoughts? LSU at number 8, Oklahoma.
I got Oklahoma winning this game as well. I kind of feel like, LSU is just a complete and utter mess. So I got more faith in Oklahoma winning this game. So I really got nothing more to say. Oklahoma wins. And yeah, it's yours.
And they officially ended the Brian Kelly era today. They officially terminated Brian Kelly today. So that shows you how bad things are in Baton Rouge. So Oklahoma wins that one. So move on now. Our final 3:30 game, and we got a good one here, boys. We got a good one. The Battle of Tennessee, as it will be the number 14 Vanderbilt Commodores on the road against the number 19 Tennessee Volunteers, Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. On ESPN, Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik, they will have it. Tennessee opening up as a 3-point favorite. Man, this is a tough one, but I got to give a slight edge to Tennessee here. Well, I know MF is probably going to say no as an answer to this question when I ask you this question. You ready for points? I am. I'm sure Bullock is. MF being the defensive guy, yeah. MF, I know how much you love your defense, but you're not going to get it here, I'm afraid. Both programs boast a top 10 mark in points per game. This is a final opportunity for Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia to bolster his Heisman Trophy resume, and he will likely have another impressive box score. Vandy, however, does not often force turnovers, which is usually the main issue for Tennessee in losses. If they avoid those, the Vols will win at home. So, high-scoring game, but I'm going with Tennessee. Now, if the game was in Vanderbilt, I probably would go with Vandy to win this one. But with this game being in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium, I got to give a slight edge to the Vols in this one. 37-30, give me Tennessee to knock off a very good Vanderbilt team. So, not much more to say. MF, number 14 Vanderbilt, number 19 Tennessee at Neyland in Knoxville. High scoring game. You like defense? I know you love defense, but you're not going to get any here.
Yeah, I doubt you're going to get any on this one. I agree with it, but I am totally in an agreement here. I believe when it's all said and done that Tennessee should win this game, and there's really not much more for me to say on that one. So yeah, Bullock, it's yours.
Bullock, are you there? Did you forget to unmute again? All right. Maybe Bullock stepped away. I don't know, but we'll await for Bullock to return here. So, okay, we got him. All right, Bullock, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Your thoughts? Good one here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one, and yeah, I definitely see it very close. But I gotta go with the Tennessee Volunteers to win this one. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
All right, we go into the primetime games now, guys. Only one 7:00 game, but it's the Battle of Virginia. We have, and this will be over on ESPN. It will feature the number 18 Virginia Cavaliers at home at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia, and they're going to be hosting the Virginia Tech Hokies. This is on ESPN. At 7:00, we got Mike Monaco, Kirk Morrison, and Dawn Davenport. Virginia opening up as a 9.5-point favorite. So I believe MF starts this one off. So MF, the Battle of Virginia. Who you got?
Big game, big implications in the ACC for Virginia. They have a shot to make it to the ACC championship game with the win. If they lose to Va Tech, this opens the door for a number of different teams. But I will say this: I do believe that Virginia should get the job done. They should win this game. There's really nothing more to add here. So yeah, give me Virginia to win. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I definitely got to go with Virginia as well. I mean, but yeah, I definitely could see it going either way. But I gotta go with Virginia. So it's yours, Florio.
Virginia Tech has only 2 receivers with at least 200 yards this season, and the defense has created only 6 turnovers. Unless the Hokies find an outlier against Virginia, which is solid in the secondary and rarely gives away possessions, don't expect a Virginia Tech upset that throws the ACC standings into chaos. Virginia wins this one 27-17. Give me Virginia over Virginia Tech. We have 3:30 games and 3 7:30 games. I apologize. 3 7:30 games. And we're starting with the most exciting of the 3 games. No question about it. It's the Iron Bowl. On ABC, the number 10 Alabama Crimson Tide on the road against the Auburn Tigers, Jordan Harris Stadium in Auburn. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe, Alabama opening up as a 6-point favorite. Michael Bullock, I believe you get to start it off here. The Iron Bowl, number 10 Alabama at Auburn. Chris and Herbie on the call. Who you got?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it should be another really good edition of the Iron Bowl here. I mean, we've seen a lot of really good memories when it comes to this rivalry. I mean, so many of them, it's hard for me to even count. So I think we're going to get another one here. So, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be Alabama to win this one. So give me Bama to beat Auburn. So it's yours, Florio.
Alabama obviously is the better team. The year has stunk for Auburn, which is still a win shy of bowl eligibility. In comes Bama, the rival powerhouse on the verge of a college football playoff invite. Auburn has been a thorn when hosting the Iron Bowl for a decade, though, and its defense is 7th nationally in yards allowed per snap at home. Auburn, despite its awful season, has a realistic chance of pulling off a pole-shaking upset. But I gotta go with Bama here. I mean, would I be surprised if Auburn actually pulls this upset? I actually would not. They've done it before, and they have a good chance to do it again. But I got to give the slight edge to Bama. It is not going to be easy. Auburn's going to give them fits throughout, but I think Alabama will eke this one out, find a way to win. They'll get a clutch score late. So I'm going to go with Bama to barely win this one, 24-20. Give me Alabama to hold off a very scrappy and game Auburn team. So not much more to say. MF, Iron Bowl, Bama, Auburn, Saturday night. Who you got?
I got Alabama as well. I think Bama's going to win the game. Even though there's a few people that I know would love to see Auburn win it, just for the mere fact that it would just literally end the Bama's hopes to get into the college football playoff. It did. I got to say, man, I've never ever seen in the last few years such an anti-Alabama attitude that it's been wild. It's getting really loud, and let me tell you, that loss that they suffered against Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago really started this screw Bama. We don't want you in the playoff. You're overhyped. You're overrated. You're garbage. All this other stuff. And I'm pretty sure Bama's heard all this negativity. So, and especially going into Iron Bowl, they have to win this game. This is a must-win game. If they lose this game, not only do they not even make the SEC championship game, but they're out. They don't even go to the playoff. They're literally on the razor's edge right now. If they lose, I think that's their third loss of the year. Anthony, it's game over for the Crimson Tide if they lose.
Sounds like
so. They have to win. It's not that they need to win; they must win on Saturday. Because if they lose, it's done for Alabama. It is done for them. So Bama wins. It's yours.
All right, and we move on to, you could pretty much call this the unofficial battle of California next. Big Ten Saturday night on NBC. The number 17 USC Trojans at home against the UCLA Bruins, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, Catherine Tappan, they'll be in the Coliseum. USC opening up as a 21.5 point favorite. I don't know what else there is to say, guys. It's going to be SC. It's got to be SC. I mean, okay. It was in the wrong column. All right, I got it. Since a wild midseason surge, UCLA has faded back to reality with losses in 4 straight games and 3 by 34 or more points. USC should hold a comfortable lead throughout the second half. I got USC winning this one. My final score, 38-17. Give me USC all over UCLA. MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm with the US. I believe USC is going to win as well. There's really not much more to go there, so Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I gotta go with USC to win this one. They should be able to handle their business with UCLA. So nothing more to say. It's yours for you.
And we move on to our final 7:30 game. This one over on ESPN University, featuring the number 24 Tulane Green Wave at home at Yeoman Stadium in New Orleans, hosting the 49ers of Charlotte. You can find this on ESPN University. It'll be Chucky Kemp and Darius Walker on the call. Tulane opening up as a 29.5-point favorite. MF, quick thought?
I got to go with the Green Wave. I got to go with Tulane. You know, they've been one of the hot teams. That right now, they actually have a fight. They actually have a chance to be the non-power five team representative in the college football playoff. They just got to keep winning their games. I think if they win out, I think they would actually get in. So they just got to keep handling their business. They're a big favorite against Charlotte. Tulane wins this one going away. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going with Tulane to win this one as well, and they're going to ride this one all the way. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah, it's Tulane. Needing a win to make the American Championship game, Tulane could not have asked for a better conference matchup. Charlotte has not finished within 10 points of an FBS opponent all season. It's Tulane all the way. 38-14. Give me Tulane all over Charlotte. And I believe we have 2 games left. We have an 8 o'clock kickoff over on ESPN2. The number 21 SMU Mustangs on the road against the California Golden Bears from California Memorial Stadium in Berkeley. This is on ESPN2. It'll be Lowell Galindo and Aaron Murray on the call. SMU opening up as a 13.5-point favorite. So I believe this one goes to Bullock. So Bullock, number 21 SMU at California. Bullock, okay.
What game were we talking about?
Number 21 SMU at California.
Yeah, I definitely got to go with SMU to win this one. I think it will be close for a little bit, but SMU will eventually pull away. So give me SMU. It's yours, Florio.
I'm going to go with SMU as well. I don't have a full preview of this one, but I like SMU in this one. Cal's scrappy. I think they will give SMU fits, but I think SMU will pull this one out. I'm going to go 27-22. Give me SMU to defeat Cal and keep their ACC hopes alive. So, MF, your thoughts? Number 21 SMU at Cal.
I got to go SMU. I think that they definitely are there for the win. So nothing more to say. SMU wins. Florio, it's yours.
We got 1 game left, gentlemen. And what a way to end this edition of Football Feast. I could not have asked for a better ending. We could call this ACC After Dark, in a sense. 10:30 kickoff. This will be, I believe it's over on ESPN. And we're going to wrap up the night and the Football Feast with my team, the number 9 Notre Dame Fighting Irish, on the road against the Stanford Cardinal from Stanford Stadium in Palo Alto, California. On the call for ESPN will be Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, and Stormy Bonatoni. And Notre Dame opening up as a 32.5-point favorite. It's Notre Dame. I mean, Stanford has only allowed 123 rushing yards, excluding sacks in the last 2 games. If there's any actual shot at springing the upset, it requires Stanford to slow Notre Dame's scorching ground game with Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, because otherwise it's going to be ugly. Bowling shoe ugly. I got Notre Dame winning this one. Notre Dame's going to win this one going away. 45-7. Notre Dame all over Stanford. Love's going to go crazy. I could see Price going crazy as well. And that defense. I mean, guys, MF, Bullock, did you see what they did to Syracuse last week? 70-7 beatdown. They jumped out to a 21-0 lead before the offense even took the field.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? So nothing more for me to say. Notre Dame wins 45-7, upward and onward to the CFP for the Fighting Irish, who will look to make another run towards the national championship, although it's going to be a lot harder this year than it was last year. A lot harder. But we wouldn't have it any other way. 45-7, Notre Dame closes out on a very strong note. Not much more to say. MF, Notre Dame, this team makes the playoff. This is one team you do not want to see in the CFP.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. I Notre Dame should win this one going away, and this should be a pretty easy victory for me. So give me Notre Dame to win. Yeah, nothing more to say. So it's yours, Michael Bowen.
Notre Dame wins. They should win this one rather easily. So there's really nothing more to say except Florio. Let's put a bow on this night.
All right. And with that, that will put the bow on yet another successful TXN Sports World Football Feast. We want to thank you all so very, very much for tuning in, not only tonight, but not just all football season long, but all year long. And throughout all of these years, we can't thank you enough for your support. It means the world to us. And you guys are truly the best fans in the world. There is we cannot emphasize that enough. So we're taking tomorrow off because of the fact that tomorrow is the Thanksgiving holiday. So we will be back with you again on Friday night, right back here on the Tone 25 at 10:30 for the Week 13 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. We'll do a quick run through of the Thanksgiving and Black Friday games. We'll get into the remaining games of week number 13. And hopefully, time permitting, we will have a preview of the WWE Survivor Series War Games. So that'll be on Friday. And then Saturday, MF will have it, Braves Fan 95, around 10 or 10:30 or so for the Cerebral Smack Talk. I don't know if we're going to do SmackDown or if it's just going to be Survivor Series, but I know we're going to have a show following that on Saturday night for sure. And then Tuesday, hopefully, we'll be back for Ridiculously Raw. We apologize for the cancellation last night. Due to commitments and other things beyond our control, we had no choice but to cancel the show for this week. But we're hopeful of being back on Tuesday for Ridiculously Raw. Monday Night Raw, the fallout from Survivor Series, NXT, go home show for Deadline. And we will also preview the following week's Thursday Night Football game, a good matchup here, the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions in Ford Field. So that should be a good one. And then 1 week from tonight, or 1 week from tomorrow, rather, it will be the season finale of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday, as it'll be all about championship week. The Power Conference Championship games, some other games featuring top 25 teams. But we will have our preview of championship week, and then we will go from there. So that is it. So until Friday night for the Week 13 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday, this is Anthony Florio here for Michael Bullock, and in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher. And, of course, always and forever, our First Lady, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Especially today, be good to each other. And have a blessed and happy Thanksgiving holiday from all of us to all of you. And until Friday night for NFL Friday, you have been watching the 2025 TXN Sports World Football Feast right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye. And on behalf of all of us here at TXN Sports World, we would like to wish each and every one of you out there a safe and very happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Good night, my friends.